said some of this to everyone else, but I just walked in last second and I wanted to say, hey, what's up? How's it going, man? I'm bummed that I haven't been able to make it out to a shed yet. I really want to do that. Yeah, I'm playing. But soon, very soon. Is this, can we see if this is, let's see about this. Some of this action.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's in my ears.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4. 1, 2.
Y'all mess with Time Guru?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, it's the best. Anybody that doesn't have this app, just get it right now. Time Guru. This is like, as far as for me, like building flexibility in subdivisions, it's just everything. Like, I don't know, like, have you ever messed with a rudiment, whatever, doubles, paradiddles, blah, 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 endlessly, and go, yeah, like, I got this down. And then you move the accent by one space. And you're like, I don't have this down. It's like that Alan Holdsworth, like, no one knows the major scale. You think you know the major scale. You don't know the major scale like Alan Holdsworth knew the major scale. You don't know your rudiments until you know them comfortably in any subdivision. If you can move between subs like butter with any rudiment, then you actually understand it. So that's one of the first things I like to do when I'm getting warmed up, is kind of start messing with stuff like that. And I think what I'm gonna do here is just do a few rounds of something like that. Let's do, sure, let's do 4, 6, and 7. Let's do 7. Okay, why not? Let's do 7 in quintuplets. There we go. That's gross. Let's see, what does this sound like? This is gonna be dumb. Yes, he arrives. What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Oh, dude, I'm just doing so great. So good to see you.
Does that mean you're bouncing back and forth between the time signature 7 and quintuplets, or?
So right now, yes. So the time signature on that last grid there is going to be 7, and it's going to be in quintuplets. 7 in quintuplets. You know what? Let's do this. Let's just make it real obvious. Let's do 7. Let's do 7 3 times. And let's just do a gradual increase. We'll just do 7 in quintuplets, sextuplets, and septuplets. How does that sound? Does that sound fantastic?
It does.
It does.
5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3,
So-
4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3,
Okay, so does that make it a little clearer what it's doing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No.
6,
No, sweet. That's fine. Let me just show this to you in your face with your eyeballs. Is that fine to do? Plug it. Okay, I don't want to be making all kinds of pops and horrible noises. All right. So with this guy, I can select whatever time signature I want. Well, up to 14, let's say. And that, which is fine. That's fine. In this case, I selected 7 3 times, and then with this guy, I'm selecting subdivisions. Dotted notes, triplet, quintuplet, sextuplet, septuplet. Hold up.
Okay. Now,
Yes. So, what I like to do, and actually what Jake back there likes to torture me with, is putting on just horrific selections and then trying to play to them musically. I'm gonna do a little bit more accessible of a phrase because I just don't want to be horrendous to listen to. But
down for me.
well, yeah, because so there's a huge difference between the kind of stuff that I practice and the kind of stuff that I want to perform for people. And to be on, like, this is a clinic, so this is the combo. I want to give you something that you're like, man, that wasn't just horrible to listen to, but I also want to be honest because this is the shit that I'm interested in. I don't feel like being like, yeah, this is what I practice at home. Like, sounds great. But most of my practice doesn't sound like that. Most of my practice has me sounding like garbage for hours until suddenly it clicks and I'm like, oh, hey, I found the pocket in that thing and it's beautiful. And we'll try to get to some of that in a little bit. I'm gonna mess with some more accessible stuff. But let's see what we got here. Let's try this.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
Now let's do.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
3,
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
I was gonna say, does that make sense? But I know that it doesn't, but it does.
Well, so you're changing subdivisions with each different measure, but can you basically stay with that initial measure? Like stay locked in with that 4/4?
That so you
You're changing through
that's
subdivisions?
that's
kind of the
sometimes that at the tail end of that, that's what I started to do. So that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk about today. So I don't know what practice looks like for you guys, but I know what it has looked like for me for like 20 years. And when I examine that, it makes me mad. So what practice looked like for me for the longest time was like, okay, my ADD brain goes, hey, here's a cool drum lick or groove or polyrhythm or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do that for 4 hours while I watch Netflix. That's like great for greasing the groove. That's great for like really building that into something that's like within your body, but that's not great for having instant musical access to that idea. That's actually terrible for having access to that idea. It doesn't get you there. I had a lesson with a drummer named Mike Mitchell, who's a crazy person, but also one of the best drummers on the planet. And I was like, dude, to me, when I watch you, your creativity is like unending. What is that? And his advice to me was like, well, do you know what IDGAF is? Yes, I do, Mike. He's like, well, that's kind of a life philosophy of mine. So that's one part of it. And that got me part of the way there. But what I started asking some people that I thought had better flow than me. So people like Forrest Rice, people like Jake back there. And I would listen and go, man, I feel like my ideas are so, each one is polished because of the aforementioned hours of just woodshedding a single, like if you do that, if you woodshed a pattern for 4 hours a day, for like 6 days a week, for like a month, it's there. It's there for the rest of your life. It's not gonna go. But connecting those ideas, gluing them together and having it be like a cohesive sentence. Okay, so for me, it's like, if I practiced speaking single words, so I'm like, you know what, I just learned this cool word, mononucleosis. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try to really just say that word a lot to myself, by myself. That's, first of all, that would be insane. Secondly, that's like no matter how much you practice those single words, you're never going to be a good speaker. You know what I mean? Okay. Having this right here, having a conversation, practicing speaking with other people, communicating with other people, that's how you get good at speaking. Which is why in the last little while I've been like, praise Jesus, because I suddenly discovered what's seemingly every other drummer on the planet had discovered, which was playing to loops. Like, oh, why didn't I do this for like the last 20 years? This is so awesome. I would look at people like Joel Turcotte, who's just a monster player, and I would examine his ability. I'm like, I can accomplish any of these things. But why is it when this dude plays, who's my friend, a really good friend of mine, why is it that those ideas don't come out? And the reason comes down to mostly just playing to loops, just trying those ideas endlessly over loops. And God, I wish I got the most chef's kiss, beautiful one I wanted to play for you guys. Let's put it to the beginning and... So yeah, something like that. For hours. Hours. That's the way to do it. Guys, what do you want to talk about? Ask me some questions.
I want to go home.
I don't like this anymore. It's loud and he's mean.
Dude, so So like with your practice time, is the majority or all of it like playing along the loops and trying stuff, or are you still just drilling like, hey, I'm trying to add this piece, like establish how to say this word and then put it kind of in context?
Great question. So, because I really do feel like you kind of have to have both.
Yeah.
I think there's two ways to explore rhythm, and one is by taking something that's already in your brain, like something you hear, and being like, okay, now how do I execute that thing? But I feel like that has to be balanced by, if you're a real explorer, you need to also force yourself to play things, learn things that you don't yet understand. Like, okay, let's take a single rudiment. This is something I got from Andy Prado. He will slow down the met to like 40 BPM or slower, and then he'll play a rudiment. He'll start with something that he's super familiar with. So like, let's just say paradiddles. And then he's like, my first thing is, I'm going to try to find a way to phrase a paradiddle, which we've all played 10 billion times. I'm gonna try to find a way to phrase it that I've never heard. That's your limitation. Your limitation, adding that limitation onto yourself expands yourself. It's totally against what your brain thinks. You're like, yeah, I need to have the option to do like 10,000 different things. Like you would be better if you just took a month and you were like, I'm only gonna play single strokes. All of the like melodic ideas that I come up with, don't let anyone tell you you're not melodic. You are. Shut the hell up. Everyone who says that the drums aren't melodic, of course they're melodic. Any melody, any rhythm you come up with your head, force yourself to learn how to execute that with just single strokes. Do that for a month. I'm like, oh, well, I can't do, well, actually, oh, you're gonna do that like 1,000 times. Oh, turns out I can play everything with just single strokes and flams. That's it. So right now my focus is more leaning towards, because of my lack in that area, I'm setting more time on these loops and just going, okay, let me just explore this thing, and then when I find an idea that I like and I can't execute, that's it. But I still give myself like at least half an hour every day where I'm like, okay, let me take one idea, one technical thing that I'm trying to advance and kind of push that and see where I can go with that. But you can also do that in the loop. Like, was that the PA? Was that? Okay. It's haunted. So I don't know how well y'all can hear what's happening there, but I switched into playing in 7 over that 5 at one point. And I actually found out while I was doing that one night, I was like, I like this better. I felt like my pocket in that was deeper. I'm like, oh, there's a few moments in that. And then when I switched back to 5, I was like, yeah, this is like right. This is good. But I actually felt like the pocket that I found in the 7 over 5 was for me, a better pocket. I'm like, oh, that really feels good. And I had this like just, I think you were in the room. I was like, babe, are you hearing this? Isn't this cool? She's like, yeah, really great. Yeah. I can't even imagine how much just tapping and nonsense you had to put up with that for so long. Anyway, I hope that answers the question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break down your technique. Especially because from watching you do a very mic thing every now and then, and I don't know if you know that you do it. When you're flowing and you're grazing around a kit, you'll be in one static grid for a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll be hanging out in like 16 note triplets.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll just randomly throw this little flurry.
Uh-huh.
But the way that you do it, like you're very relaxed, you're moving, you are orchestrating everything in a very effective way. You're not straining.
Mm-hmm.
And when you move into that as well, you push. I literally watch your forearms
Yeah.
tighten, but immediately you disperse that tension.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, I don't even know if you know what I'm referring to. You'll do those little like flurries of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Break down your technique approach in every aspect you possibly can.
Sure. Yeah, man. Damn, that's a wide-ranging question. Okay, so I got a lot to say on the subject of technique. First of all, everyone and their mom is going to tell you, there are a couple things that I feel were super well-intentioned that are just not true when it comes to technique. One of the things that they will tell you is that, you want to, try to make your body totally relaxed. That's half true, but has anyone in here ever tried to back squat more than a plate on each side? Okay. What do you have to do so that you don't get a hernia? You have to brace. You have to brace your core. Okay? This thing isn't magical. The rules of your physical body apply to this instrument the exact same way they apply to any athletic endeavor ever. Ever. It's the same. So when people are like, well, how do I build speed? I'm like, well, just look at sprinters. How does a sprinter build speed? Quick. What does every single person say when you say, how do I get fast? Start slow. They're like, yeah, you got to start slow. Now, that's not untrue, because you have to walk before you run. But literally, it is categorically untrue that to build maximum speed, you practice slow. If you want to building maximal speed literally comes from practicing as fast as you can. And that was one of the things, when I was teching for Donati, he talked about that too. He was like, there's way too much about being totally relaxed. He's like, you can't be stupid, don't hurt yourself, but you have to apply tension. So that's what I'm trying to do is, for one, I'm trying to brace my upper chest and my upper back, because these guys are flying around. If I don't do that, I will show you the difference. I'm gonna just demonstrate how much different, it's gonna look different and it's gonna sound different. I'm just gonna be more of a jellyfish type here for a second. Let's see. So let's say, real simple-ish, not super crazy. And it's like, that's okay, there's nothing wrong with it, but I notice inconsistencies here. One thing that's happening is, when I'm doing that, I'm depending on the stick to do all of the work. And you want the stick to do work for you, you want it to work with you, but if it is doing all of the work, are you the drummer or is the stick the drummer? You're the drummer. Control the stick. Now I'm going to just lightly brace my upper chest and my upper back, and I'm going to play the same kind of thing. To me, that sounds like worlds better. So, yeah.
So you were kind of talking about how you doing double pedal and that's a different. In my opinion, I feel like that's a different kind of left foot influence, because I am comfortable with double pedal. Mm-hmm. But when I go to hi-hat foot, it feels completely foreign to me.
For sure.
How do you bridge that?
Well, okay, so yes, they are for sure different things, but I do believe that if you kind of just build, I almost think of it like motor intelligence. If you build motor intelligence with your limb, especially your non-dominant limbs, for me, my left hand and my left foot, they're a little dumber. They're kind of dumber limbs, but as as I've gotten better at just doing a well-rounded series of skills, they've all kind of just, the level has raised. However, you're 100% correct in noticing those techniques are utterly different. But there's, like, if there's a 10% crossover, then great, which is why I have a journal at home written entirely in my left hand, because I wanted my left hand to be able to do anything my right hand could do. And I spent time learning to brush my teeth with my left hand. And last night we made an Alfredo sauce, and I stirred it with my left hand, and that was so difficult.
That was a modern drummer challenge. This was like years ago, but they had a challenge. They said if you want to generate better brain power going to your weaker limb, you have no idea just how much stuff you do with your like, try texting
You really
with
don't.
your hand. Try pouring water, changing the channel on a TV. Like, everything, you don't think about how often you use your power hand.
It's actually, it's truly unconscious. You have no idea. If you want to find out, just put your right hand behind your back for an hour. Just an hour in your day, like let's call it an unimportant hour, and you're gonna find out that you use your right hand like 10 times a minute that you aren't thinking about. You're like, oh, I just need to move this really quick. If you do, oh man, my teacher when I was young, it was a guy named Steve Joseph, and he was like, yeah, you should just try doing everything with your left hand if you want your left hand to be stronger, better. I'm like, there's kind of no real mystery, because I've seen the question asked like so often. What should I do to strengthen my weak hand? Well, you should do the exact same thing that you do with your strong hand, but like a lot more. What's up, guys? Welcome to the area. Anyway, yeah. So the left foot. What are you trying to do with your left foot that's challenging you with?
Just be more comfortable, like, always playing left foot in my head. Just it being there.
Well, are you talking about, like, say for instance, playing time? Or are you talking about?
Just being comfortable, like what I have in my head, like putting that on this limb. Like, I can't, like I want to play a phrasing with my left foot and I can't do it. But if I want to do it on double pedal, I'm like, oh, I can do that. But I can't do it over here.
Do you practice your rudiments with your left foot and left hand?
Sometimes I need to do that.
That's that thing, yeah. If you want to get, if you don't want to get weird with it, you can just start just play paradiddles. Just start there. And then just groove it. Throw in the kick wherever you want to throw it in. There's almost, the thing is, I won't say there are no secrets, because there's definitely secrets. For a while I was like, the secret is there's no secrets. That's not true. There for sure there are better ways to do things. There are smarter ways. Like we talked about earlier, if you want to be fast, practice fast. Like that's a secret. Yeah. Well, all the fast guys are gonna be like, hey, don't practice slow. But then the fastest guys that have ever lived, like Sean Lane, who's probably, I'm sure, the fastest guitar player that's ever graced the planet, he was like, yeah, just practice as fast as you can and then clean that up. That's it. Like, oh, okay. Well, I can't argue with you because you're you. You're the guy. Yeah. Should I play some more drums?
Yes.
Cool.
2/4.
Can anyone play in 2/4? Sure. Give me, yeah. Would you like me to play something that is in 4/4, or do you want me to play 4/4 over that loop?
Some 4/4.
Okay. Let's see if I've got something in 4/4.
Wagon wheel.
You know what's funny?
Wagon wheel.
I've actually spent a fair amount of time shedding over wagon wheel, and that's not even, yeah. That's just, oh, there. This should be in 4/4.
Moment I was waiting for that whole time is when you switched to playing,
Open?
no, left on high. And,
Oh, yeah.
And right snare, yeah, switching your dominant hand.
Oh, yeah. And I kind of do that stupidly. Yeah.
I think you told me how to switch over one time to, like, really get rid of your dumb hand is pick a favorite song or an easy song, start building up, play the whole thing.
Really, I really do feel like that's the best way to do it. If you want to do open-handed and you're like a cross-handed player, just pick a song, and an easy one, and just nail it feel-wise. Because the thing actually that I discovered was the hardest in the left hand was one, just getting the hi-hat feel right. Because it felt weird and like extra chunky. I'm like, and it didn't have that like that. Getting that feel like straight funk grooves and shuffles. Those were the two weirdest feels to nail down for me.
That's something I'm trying to pick up recently.
Yeah.
Because, and I suppose the one everybody starts with is probably "Don't Stop Believing" because that one is
Right, because you kind of need to play that open-handed. Yeah, that's the way to go. But then, if you want to get really dumb with it, just set your whole kit up fully lefty,
right.
And then really you will find out what that's all about.
Playing kick with your left foot too, right?
Yes, which honestly, it's never going to hurt you. It's never going to hurt you to have that extra skill. Okay. Oh, I can just randomly play on a kit that's set up totally wrong. Psst. And that was actually another thing that I got from Mike, because he talked about, and this is, man, if you want to talk about building vocabulary, this is the move. Here's the secret sauce. You ready? You take whatever your go-to lick is, whatever it is in the world, and you play it, and then you play it left-hand lead, and then you play it backwards, and then backwards left-hand lead, and then you mess up your kit, change it up, make it totally different. He was like, I put my like hi-hat behind my back, the floor tom's down the hall, like obviously being like super hyperbolic, but you get the point. He's like, and then do those same 4 progressions on the new setup. I'm like, well, then you can play your ideas, which are, again, they're yours. This is the stuff that you go to. And it's okay to have a go-to lick. I love doing, I love doing that. I don't ever want to not do that. I love how that phrase sounds. Great. So I want to be able to play it on any drum set ever, whether it's set up lefty or like the floor toms hung from the ceiling, whatever. Yeah.
Sick. Sweet. Dude, it's cool to see on the topic of how you're sitting, how you're bracing yourself. You approach the instrument like you have a very athletic stance, and that translates. And there's like the physical side of it, and maybe this is like a little Jordan Peterson, but I think there's like a mental side of it too, being in this kind of athletic, prepared position versus
100%. Yes.
You know?
For sure.
Oh,
That completely changed something for me recently. Another drummer, Nico, told
Yeah.
me, he was watching me play, he told me, dude, raise your seat 2 inches.
Yep.
Changed everything.
It makes such a difference. If you're sitting too low, you're going to be needlessly engaging your hip flexors and your abs like so much more. You're going to jack yourself up. I'm going to show you guys something that's less. This is not what you want.
Can you detail that a little more? Like,
Yeah.
give the why.
Absolutely, I can. But first, I want you to see that neck shape. Yeah. You know what shape it's not supposed to have? It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a C facing that way. It's like almost a C facing the other way. So don't do that. That's what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
That's stupid. Don't do that. You're gonna mess yourself up. Okay, what am I detailing?
Sit height.
See,
Position.
okay.
Just
Yes.
Can you give the why?
Yes, well, here, let me just set my seat down low.
Ask Vinny.
Yeah, just, dude, yeah, that's
Who
it.
has back problems?
Yeah, how's your back, Vinny? Why you used to sit so low? How come you're so much higher now? Vinny,
He used to sit way slower than his knees.
oh, dude, yeah, his knees were like coming up, and his snare was like this, and now it's totally different. Like, dude, if you sit, I'm just gonna set this thing stupid low. If you sit low, and I'm
I feel is a very 80s power rock way to play.
totally, it absolutely is. This was the normal thing. But if you're sitting right here, I'm like at about parallel right here, then in order for me to get my foot off the kick drum, I'm having to use abs to lift them off, and then I have to balance this way. That's like, you're just doing murder to your lower back. You're tightening your hip flexors. You're gonna need to see Taylor's friend Charlie in like half an hour. That's, and if you're if you're doing like, oh my God, I can't even imagine doing like doubles or triples, sitting low. Can you imagine like playing 12 hours? Like it literally like, that makes me want to cry. Like right here, that's already, I'm having to use so much strength just to get my feet up so that the pedals can come off of the kick drum. Which is like, okay, because yeah, most of the dudes that were doing that in the 80s, Vinny's the perfect example. He totally changed his tune. He sits plenty high now.
You have to sit like that or you're not cool kind of thing back then?
I don't know. I think it just was like people didn't understand. This is a pretty new instrument.
And it's
like-
one of the youngest.
Yeah.
It's about 100 years old now.
People are just barely coming to understand. Like the hi-hat this is so new. This is not what this looked like 80 years ago. This was like literally a thing you played with your foot and that's it. We're young. This thing was just recently invented. Drums themselves may be the oldest instrument, but the drum set, like the trap kit, this thing that we're playing, this is so new. So people are figuring out that, like, again, there's not magic in it. They're like, you don't get to ignore the rules of ergonomics, and you don't get to ignore all of the like exercise science, that everything we've learned in the last 30 years about how the human body works. How do you build fast twitch muscle fiber? How do you build myelin? Like all of these things. How do you strengthen your tendons? All these things. they apply to us. We're not outside of that application. This is why I love watching your page, because you're so consistent. Like, you're posting your exercise stuff. He does kettlebell stuff all the time, killing it. Drummers, take up rowing. Take up rowing, because you're in this forward position so much. You must have this strong foundation, especially core and upper back. It's so important. If you do nothing else in the gym, just promise me, make a promise to me and little baby Jesus that you're going to start rowing, because it just will make your life better. And just sitting this low is making me want to vomit.
How far forward do you sit on your seat then, too?
I am actually recently changing that. I was sitting fairly far forward, but I started bringing this guy pretty close, because I feel like I can sit up straighter.
Kind of relax.
Yes, which is more like the Nate Wood. He talked about. He's like, sit back in your seat. It's easier to breathe, and it totally is. It's way easier to breathe back
Center
here.
of balance too. If
Yes.
you sit a little further back, you are not relying on your body weight falling on your feet as much.
Yes.
So
And there is a certain drum guru, we'll call him, who I will not name, but I'll just let you guys figure it out. Who does like to talk about these kind of things that I have strong disagreements, because he talks about sitting. He's like, yeah, no, you should sit like kind of in front of in the front of your seat, because then you can avoid getting whatever, like some sort of nerve damage in your leg. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? This. Hey, I'm not gonna name who it is. Hey, who is it though? Hey, but who is it? No, I got you, dude. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, he talks about, and I don't disagree with him on everything. I just think that he's just categorically wrong about sitting on the front of your seat. That's wrong.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I think it's right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I thought the clinic was over 20 minutes ago, but we're still talking, so it's great. I mean, I'm having a fun time.
I got a question.
Yeah.
As far as the concept of breathing, it kind of goes with fitness too, because like, you know, obviously if you like aren't squatting like at the gym and you're not breathing properly, like I had this dude come up to me when I was trying to squat, and he was like, "Oh, you should like let all your air out at the bottom, and then try to come up from that." I'm like, I mean, that's like that's its own thing, but it's harder on purpose because you're not preserving your air. And I had this gig just a couple nights ago, and I realized like I was pretty aware of my breathing until the very end, where, you know, the band leader kind of like lets the drummer go loose a little bit, and then I was like, I felt good for about 15 seconds, and then my left arm just started becoming like all.
Were you holding your breath?
And then I thought about it. I was like, why did that happen? Like, it kind of like it happens when I get excited, or like when I kind of like, oh, like go off. But I kind of thought about it, and I was like, you know, I bet I wasn't breathing. So just as a concept, I was wondering if you've ever like, just like while practicing, thought like, oh, better like watch my breathing, or like ever done like anything conscious to like,
Absolutely,
yeah.
100%, dude. Benny Greb is all about that, and I am pretty obsessed with Benny. Benny has the best drum sound that there is, to me. But 100%. The hard thing has been for me when I start thinking about my breathing, my brain can't stop at just like, hey, you're breathing. Like, my brain is going, well, what rhythm is that you're breathing in? Does that fit with the time that you're playing in, you idiot? Why? Well, you better figure that out so that you know that you're breathing steadily. I can't just like know that I'm breathing. So that's my white whale to slay right now. But absolutely, when I'm practicing, when I'm performing, I do check in with myself to make sure that I'm breathing. But also, I want to say, if it was your left hand that was doing that, okay, do you know the song Dixieland Delight?
No.
Okay. Yes, you do. Every person who plays on Broadway plays that song. We play that song every single day. I noticed, I'm like, start noticing those little, I'll call them artifacts, little artifacts in your playing where you're like, when I play this song, when this happens, I do this thing and I feel this sensation. I noticed a sensation of tiredness in my left hand playing that song. I'm like, why? I'm just playing, at the end, it just goes to this double time. And I'm like, that's not fast. That's not not compared to what is fast for me, or like anyone in this room, really. But my hand was getting tired. You might just be getting excited and literally just tensing that limb needlessly.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of tension on purpose. Never tension without knowing that you're doing it. If you're, the sound changes. You get tired. Yeah, examine that. Next time you start doing that exact section, just obviously take a note of your breathing, but then also try to feel, because you might be tensing up here, but it actually might be, you might be tensing kind of right in here a little too much. Your shoulder might be constricting all the blood in your arm. You might be squeezing that to your side. That we do all kinds of weird, dumb things like
context, that. It was like kind of big and open section, where it's like, if you had to think of like Matt Halpern or something, just like really, it's like boom, boom, boom,
okay, yeah.
Like so, like a lot of motion. But then as I tried to go for like, just to feel like just something like that.
Yeah.
And I realized, oh, like my muscle groups are not changing. Like it's still just that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
that definitely could be breathing.
Yeah, and it could be a technique thing, but I'm going for mostly like molar, just like fluidity most of the time, and then obviously tighten up. But yeah, I think it might have been a breathing thing. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna like think about it and explore it, because like I said, it was just like 2 nights ago. But that was kind of like my revelation of like, was I breathing, and if not, like how much did that actually affect it, or did I just like could my technique just be better? It's probably a little bit of both, honestly. But
do you do the thing where like you're in the middle of playing and you just like start moaning? Like,
yes. I was about to ask about that.
I hate that shit.
My brain had to like consciously be like, oh, I had this like cool idea, but now that my left arm just tapped out, I guess I'll just do something boring. but I made it through, and I didn't like fuck up, because like I was at least cognizant enough to be like, oh, well, just don't do anything that you can't do without like quarter notes, basically.
Right.
So, but yeah, it was like I noticed it, and I still had probably like 5 measures left or something. But I was like, oh, well, it's not coming back, so we'll just finish out.
Well,
but
it's done.
But when I stopped playing, it's not like I was walking around like, oh my.
Right. Yeah. As soon as you start breathing again, dude, you might have. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I've been like playing at certain gigs, like not in years, but in the past me. I'm pretty sure I've held my breath for like over a minute while playing. Like,
yeah.
Like, wow, I am really feeling winded. This is really something. Oh my God, I have not been breathing. But yeah, I also have sleep apnea, so.
It's crazy how relativistic those individualistic like personality things are, because for me, this is actually a bane of mine, is that I hum the songs that I'm playing, and I lead into them. I have like and every stupid album I've done, the engineer's like, dude.
Every brilliant, life-changing album you've done, you mean?
Every time I go into the studio, the engineer's like, what are you doing with your mouth? Please don't. And they're like, every time we do a take, you're like singing stuff. And I'm like, I literally don't even know I'm doing it. I can't help it. But ironically, that's actually helped me to breathe. I do it like not even on purpose. So
yeah, that's great.
My body is like, well, you got to breathe in, because if you don't sing this part while you're playing it, then apparently you just break. And so, I don't know.
Dude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's great.
But I think every drummer, and you see it with guitarists too. If you ever you watch a guitarist play, they have like, some of them have like a lip curl. They have like a lip curl when they do like a certain lick. Everyone has kind of like a tick when they play. It's like a concentration tick. And it's one of my favorite things to see people do, because some people have some really wild concentration ticks.
Dude, the guys.
Dolly Parton. Always singing Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what I'm playing. I'm singing Dolly. Listen, if I'm gonna sing, it's gonna be Dolly.
Every album.
Oh.
As a guitar player and like a half drummer, I do have any anxiety or breathing problems. It always isolates bigger muscle groups. That, in my experience, and with guitar, that's death because you're always having to do your very small motions, and so any tension is just you can't play anymore.
Oh yeah.
And so, at bass too, all your motions have to be moving together. And so, but it's really easy to replicate a motion like this with all your big muscle groups. I think so. Any tension, I do find like, oh, this looks the same and feels almost the same, but because I'm not actively relaxing, I've been engaging all of my big muscle groups to do that thing.
That's not
And
necessary.
It's such a
Yeah.
minute difference between that and the fluidity of the twitch muscles along with the bigger muscles. So that might be something there too. Where I know I experience that with guitar every once in a while. Like,
Gotta check out,
it feels exactly the same, but why is it? Because it's like just one arm. That makes me think.
Yeah.
So I've had experience like that too. It's like, why would my breathing affect just that? Anyway. Yeah.
That was a good point.
Yeah. Well, and you're using that. There's a lot going on in every motion you're making. There's so much more happening with your body than you're thinking is happening. In just the same way where you're like, you're going to use your right arm, your dominant arm, let's say, so much more often than you even realize you're using it because you're doing things without thinking about you're touching your face like that. That's you're moving your hair. Me, I'm an old man and my nose itches because I've got so much hair growing out of it, and I'm just constantly and I'm not even thinking about it. In the same way, there's so much more happening muscularly. There's so much energy being used that when you're not even aware, if you're not breathing, if your breathing is, or even just kind of a little bit off, you'll start to notice it in half a minute. Like, I feel not good. This does not feel pleasing to me. And then when you suddenly start to breathe right, then everything's peaches and cream. Anyway. Drum clinic, done.